Welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Vaughn.
And thanks for joining us today. Appreciate your time.
Definitely.
All right, so we're going to get right into it. A lot of things going on in the country. A lot of it kind of kicked off with the George Floyd situation, and rest in peace to him, and prayers out to his family and all of that. So let's get into, I guess, thoughts on that. What you got?
The whole situation? Well, I wasn't surprised. So it's one of those things that when I saw it happen, I saw it Tuesday, heard somebody died in Minneapolis by police brutality. Wasn't surprised. And I thought to myself that this dude kind of like Steven Jackson.
Word.
That's basically what I said.
Yeah,
I said the same thing. And I was like, all right, whatever. Like, not whatever, but kind of like, okay, that's messed up. All of a sudden, I followed, Steven Jackson on IG, and he was like crying. I'm like, all right, let me listen to what he's talking about. He kind of mentioned it. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I think Steven Jackson's involvement put it on a different pedestal for everybody.
Yep.
Not saying any life is more important than the next with that, but I think his platform spearheaded a lot of stuff. So I was definitely hurt to see that happen, especially watching the video. I really didn't want to watch the video for the first couple of days, and then I finally watched it, and just to see like a grown man pleading and begging for his life is different. Because a grown man wouldn't do that. That's like the last thing you would do. To see that was kind of crazy to me. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, and to see him helpless like that, and again, it's even sad to say that, like, you hear it and it's just like, all right, where'd it happen this time? You know, outside of it being an egregious act and just crazy. I mean, you got a guy that's handcuffed, doesn't look like he's resistant in any type of way, and then you get this shot of the guy, the former officer, kneeling on his neck and just like,
chilling,
unfazed.
Yeah.
He had a look in his eye as if he was just like he didn't care. He didn't value George Floyd's life, and that was tough to see. What I have noticed about this, and it's sad that it's almost like George Floyd has to be a martyr in this situation. I think with a lot of the other situations, if you talk about like, Trayvon or whatever, there's no footage of what happened. So
exactly.
there's always room for more subjectivity. So it's like, depending on how you view it, you could be like, well, he was fearful of his life. That's
exactly.
not something that we were able, everyone formulated an opinion. And with this, I feel like it was right in front of people. George Floyd was cuffed. He had no reason to be on his neck. I mean, let alone for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, I think it is. So what I am seeing is two separate things. I'm seeing a lot more solidarity. And I think it's important for other races to, in a sense, I mean, as weird as this sounds, I feel like it's important for them to almost like lead this charge. Because, it's got to be more than just us. What I have noticed, again, I've noticed two different sides of it. I've noticed some other races using their platform to accept their privilege, say we have this privilege. I've seen, people say, I think Reese Witherspoon was one, basically saying like, I can't even imagine having to tell my white son to dress a certain way or
exactly
to how to behave if you're pulled over for a cops. So I think for me, accepting that and, pushing to move it forward from other races, I think is going to be huge going forward.
Yeah, definitely piggyback off that. But to go back to the tape as well, what I noticed that was pretty crazy to me is that when they showed the different footage of the tape, you actually saw, it seemed like the first responding cops, whatever it was, kind of had the situation under control. It seemed like they had everything under control. And then when the other officers came in, I guess he was the training officer, I believe they say.
Yeah, he was.
And he had something like to prove. But let me show these guys how this works, or something like that. And he amped it up. And it seems like once this comes out and more people start digging it was personal. They have to have the history. And allegedly they do have some type of history together, working at the same nightclub. So I don't understand how, if he's doing patrol outside and he's doing security inside, you have to know the cop on duty.
Absolutely.
So there has to be something personal that happened. And it's gonna come out eventually, because that was just done too callous, and it was more malicious, And to piggyback on what you said about bringing people together, I think it's definitely going to do that. What it seems like in every great movement or any movement, even civil rights or whatever you may say, it's always the young. The old will give you the wisdom, and the young will push the charge. So, you'll see, people even younger than us, they're out there front lines doing what they have to do. They're protesting, they're rioting, whatever you want to call it. But when you don't, if you try to protest and you do it quietly, no one believes you or no one listens to you.
It's got to be uncomfortable.
You start having a riot. Yep. You start having a riot, people will understand what's going on. And what bugged me out is that I think this pandemic mixed with this made people sit and watch what was going on, because, if back in the day when we were real young, when Rodney King thing happened, it was on tape, him getting beat by all these officers.
Yep.
Like black and white. Like you can't say it didn't happen. And they got off. So it's kind of like, what changed to make you say, oh no, this is the final straw, after you have all these years of doing things? So I don't know. I think it may be just the way, the way people are being brought up these days. And now it's the younger people who are more involved. It's kind of hard to be fully racist if your favorite artist is Lil Wayne. You're in hip hop culture. I don't care if you're, white, Hispanic, or whatever, Asian. If you're in the hip hop culture, you have a lot of friends that are black. So, now you're seeing that what your friend goes through is totally different than what you go through.
Yeah.
And I think, people are really paying attention to that, and we need them to lead that charge with us, because we've been fighting for too long to get it, and no one will listen to us anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's
now
a fact.
they're using their platform, which is going to help us out. Now my biggest thing is what's going to happen when, now everything is dying down, right? So now, the 3 memorials ended, but we still need that reform to happen. So we need that same energy to keep up, for pretty much for the rest of their lives until we get equality. We don't want, Black Lives Matter, right? We're not saying like the guy Michael shot what's my man's name from Saturday Night Live? Yeah, the little comic thing. We're saying like it says Black Lives Matter. We're just saying we want us to matter.
That's
like
it.
They right to say equality. We didn't even say equality. We're just saying we want you to care about it. Like that's what we're saying.
And that's the thing that makes it. And the other side of it, I'm seeing, and I'm seeing the people that are like really pushing to move it forward, and then I'm seeing the total opposite, where people are still like, there was a guy that was mocking, or they had like a George Floyd challenge where there's somebody putting a knee on somebody's neck, and you know what? They're out front with it. I almost rather them be out front with it, so we know who you are, we can identify you, and then we know how to move from there. And I'm seeing that businesses and organizations are jumping on that. They're firing people from their jobs. They
can't play with that right now.
Yeah, whether they want to or not, they know that's the move to make. So, moving forward, this feels a little bit different to me. I think a key point, moving forward is what's going to happen with this conviction, and for me to even be concerned about what's going to happen is just, I don't know, it's just sad. Like that should be money in the bank right there, but I'm not 100% sold that it is.
I tell you, I promise you, if they are found innocent, it's going to be a civil war.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Like, I think it's going to be bad. I mean, I think it's going to be 10 times worse than the whole Rodney King thing. It's going to be bad because people think that Black Americans are mad about, just George Floyd. They're still mad about Emmett Till. We're still mad about all that other stuff. So this is like, it's all bubbling and boiling up. So now it's like it's two sides. It's either you with us or you against us. And it doesn't have to do with color, so to speak. It's not about that. It's about if you with the agenda or you're not. You know what we're trying to do? We want the equal rights treated the same. And if you're not with that, you're on that side. and it's going to be divided just like that.
All right. So to move forward, so shortly after, and I'm not even sure why he decided to elaborate on it. We're gonna get into Drew Brees, and to me, and I don't know Drew Brees. Drew Brees always seems to be a person that's,
Very smart.
He's a smart guy. He's good with his words in interviews. So this really caught me off guard. And I understand his side of it when he said, like, he's never going to think that not standing for the flag is not wrong. And that's cool. Like, you know, he had his grandfather in the military or whatever the case is. But, like, that's not something for you to say. Like, no one's judging you because there's inequality in the country, and no one's judging you for standing. Like, we're not saying, hey, why are you standing in? And this is happening to people in the country. So he needs to respect the other side of that. Another reason to speak on him being smart, he doubled back with that apology the next day. Like, I want you to see my eyes. Like, come on, man.
Yo, he about to have a dashiki on and the whole bit on training camp.
Yeah, you got 5 black offensive linemen. You guys to relax.
Listen, when he said that, I thought it was the dumbest thing that I've ever heard anybody say on national TV, like in an interview, because it showed the way he thought. Now, I'm not saying Drew Brees is a racist. I'm not saying that at all.
Nah,
I don't think he is.
I don't think so either.
He said something totally stupid, but that shows the thought process that he's not even thinking about the other side of any coin. So that's the problem with everything in general. When you look at and you deal with people that aren't black, a lot of times they'll just have no empathy for the other side, what's going on. So, like, if you see someone rioting, you saying they're rioting. Why don't you ask why they're rioting? You know what I'm saying? No one ever does that. So when he said that, I'm like, do you think you're the only person that has family members that fought in World War I and World War II, whatever? You know how many black soldiers fought in those wars? It was in front line of those wars and came at home and didn't have civil rights. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when he said that, I'm like, come on, man. And then plus, it showed me that he didn't care enough at the time, because Cap did this 4 years ago, right? And you tell me in 4 years you couldn't research, and you're that smart of a guy. There's people that go out there and learn about stock market, stocks, stuff they care about, right? So you telling me you can't sit there and just try to educate yourself and go, you know what? Let me figure out really what this is about.
Well, even if you don't agree with it, like,
that's what I'm saying.
You have to research it enough to be like, I don't agree with it, but you know what? I know where he's coming from, and I'm not touching it.
And that's giving it the respect, right? So that's showing that he's just oblivious to that, right? So then he says it, and then he telling me you found you found God in about 12 hours. Someone put a foot in your rear end and said, like, yo, what are you doing? And now you get it. So you couldn't get it in 4 years, but now you get it in 12 hours. Yeah. But I can't see that. I don't believe in that. But I know he had to apologize. So I think he said something that was very dumb. And I actually said, like, yo, did he retire yet? Because I wasn't saying it because I don't like him. I'm just saying, like, yo, this is crazy, because the locker room might say, all right, we got you. But it's about 30 other teams that they coming for your head. And you know, Drew's a small guy. He's not a big dude. Like, he's like, what, 6 foot, maybe 190, 195. Yo, like, you got a 300-pound defensive tackle from Macon, Georgia, or something like that. and been do some stuff. He's coming and hit you. Right. So I think, you know, he should retire, but if he can fix it, it's fixable. And I think he's really sorry about it, but sometimes you put words out that you can't get them back.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And Roger Goodell, who handled it a lot better, you know, he stated the obvious. You know, with no black players, there's no NFL.
We know that.
But we need to see what you're gonna do moving forward. Everybody knows Cap was blackballed. I mean, that's not. But what it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, because I'm predicting a lot more high-profile players are going to begin to kneel. And not only that, I think even players that are like maybe Cap's caliber when he was doing it, I don't think those guys are going to be cut, because
Nope.
You just can't. You
can't.
Anything remotely close to being blackballed is going to put a blemish on the league.
See, we'll go into the Cap thing in a minute. How I feel a little different about the Cap thing, but with Goodell, it's kind of like a smack in the face to me. To say that, because you're acting like you didn't know this was happening. So that's why I want to understand, like, what made the world go crazy because they saw what happened to George Floyd? It's been happening for years.
Yeah.
But like, so I want to know what changed in people's brain, thought process to go, oh, they're not lying. You know, when they drive, they might really get pulled over. Might not make it home. Like, what happened to that in that process? I don't get it. But I just want to see what happens when it comes to, you know, he said what he said. He's being paid by the owners, right? So that's why he didn't want to take a stand, because a lot of these owners are racist. This is what it is. You know, as we know it. Not every owner. We're not saying that. But I'm not saying that. We know a lot of them are from that old school of thinking. He can't do certain things. He might even believe in it, but he got to ride with the owner because they cut the check. So what changed this time is that he has a new contract already signed, delivered. He's getting paid. Now he can get his shoulders out and do what he want to say. So now he's feeling himself a little bit. He can say what he want to say. So I think that contributed as well. I think he's a great commissioner. Like,
he does. That's a tough job, man.
Tough job. So I call him Roger the Dodger. He dodges everything. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was a little too late. I get he had to put it out, but it didn't have the impact as it would have had if he was still with the players back in 2016.
Word. Yeah. Because now, like to your point, I mean, he's already got his bag, so he can kind of have a little bit more flexibility.
Right.
But Kaepernick, I think I'm kind of up in the air with Kaepernick. I actually changed a little bit after the Floyd situation. I think it started off as like a genuine thing because he's kneeling while he was in the NFL, knowing that it was a possibility that what happened to him could happen. There were points where I felt like he kind of liked this attention of being like this martyr, so to speak. But I do think he started off, with a great message because he started off when he was in the league and he wasn't afraid to step out on a limb. As far as I know people now are like, oh, well, bring Kaepernick back. I mean, and the truth is, like, it's 4 years. No one who hasn't played in 4 years is coming back to the NFL. That just
not gonna happen.
That just doesn't work. And I think he didn't get blackballed just because he knelt. That was a part of it. He got blackballed because he was, a low end starter at that point, or maybe a backup. So from an owner's perspective, it's just kind of like
not worth it.
Yeah, it's like in basketball, like, the 11th player on the 12th man roster he's going to cause a stir in the locker room. Like, I'm not keeping this guy. He's playing 3 minutes a night.
For real, good.
I could get the other guy that's been grinding, is not going to say a word, going to practice hard, and, you're not going to know he's there. But, one thing Cap can say right now is like, I told you so.
and that's the thing. All right, so now, I'm a 49er fan.
Yep.
I go back. I'm going to tell you how I honestly feel about the whole situation with Cap. So basically with Cap, I think he stood for the right reasons. What he was doing was for the right reasons. But I think that he wasn't ready for the outcome of it. So I think he didn't realize by him doing this what could happen. And I think he was. We're gonna say.
I feel like at one point or another he was even to the point where, I don't know if this is like 2018. He was like, if I was back in the league, I wouldn't kneel anymore. Like, I remember him saying that. But so I kind of agree with you there.
So that's basically what I feel, is that he was getting wrong advice from people. Because when you're trying to be a martyr, my whole thing is this: if I'm going against an organization, or if I'm going against a company that I work at, whatever it is, if I sue you, I do not want to come back. Like, I'm not, because I know that I'm not going to be treated the same if I try to come back. It's just if I get a bag from you. I can't talk about you, about what's going on there, about all this racism and whatever I'm feeling, because when I come back, I'm not going to feel comfortable. You're going to find a reason to get rid of me, right? So I'm not even going to want to come back. So that's why I understand why he wanted to come back anyway, because I personally think, hey, if I take this stance, like Muhammad Ali took his stance, then fight for what, 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is sometimes. So I think certain people, you know, they are ready to take that stand. I think he wasn't fully ready to take the repercussions from what happened. Then I think it comes down to skill. So being the 49er fan, watch Cap. Cap was good. Cap, his last year wasn't a good year. Really, once Harbaugh left, wasn't a good year for him. He was injured a lot too. Playing injured doesn't matter. 49ers gave him that big contract. Now, I'm not sure what happened. I think they chose not to re-sign him, or they wanted to restructure the contract. It was something like that. Cap wanted to be released, I believe.
Okay.
So they let him go, right? So they let him go. And then they're like, all right, where can you go now? Now, you had a chance to go to the Ravens, but then your girl Wild Down had the whole Ray Lewis joint, like Django, right? That's wild out, right? Then you have other opportunities. You like, you still want to be the martyr type of thing. That's why I'm thinking his head was going everywhere. He's still working out. But to me, it's like that's 2 years at the time. Then the strawberry camp was back to me is last year, but he had the tryout. Right now, I personally know the tryout was BS. I don't care who was behind it. They said Rock Nation helped him out. I think I heard Stephen A. Smith say he helped him out behind the scenes. Whatever's going on, I know for a fact that I'm not going to get a fair shake, right? So while I want to be a part of an organization or a part of something that's going to treat me that way, right? So basically, I move my workout, get my own wide receivers, and do my own thing to show you I can throw some deep routes. Everyone knows that when you play in the NFL, the problem with Cap is he didn't have touch on the ball.
Yeah, the deep routes were never the problem. It's the intermediate throws and the touch
the
touch throws.
Hence why the Super Bowl in 2013 or 2012 we lost to the Ravens. The what was it? The fade to Crabtree that wasn't connecting.
Yeah.
And you see what was the problem. So it's like I think that he was great, has good skills, and then it came down to, you know, do we really want him, right?
Is it worth it?
You have the baggage. Is it worth it? You have the baggage. And now you're talking about give him a shot after 4 years? Please. Because if he comes out there after 4 years, that's to be the worst thing that can happen to him. If he goes out there and he stinks up the joint, they're going to be like, see, that's why we didn't have him in the league, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where if I was him, his story is great. He's a martyr. What he stood for is great. You know what I'm saying? He had a successful career. He got a bag that we don't know how much the bag was from the NFL. He's getting another bag from Nike.
Yep.
He's getting bag for appearances. I'll go around saying how much the NFL is racist, but I'll never want to play for him again. What's the point? That's how I feel. So
I want to get into one last thing before we get into some NBA stuff. So I want to talk about like the All Lives Matter. As far as I'm concerned, like if you still saying All Lives Matter, like you're on the other side. You're on the other side.
You don't get it. You totally don't get it.
The only reason people are saying Black Lives Matter is because we need to make sure that it still does. You know, you don't say other lives matter because there's no reason to say it.
But look, we're only saying it matters. That's all we're saying. We're saying care about it. Like I'm a person.
I'm a person. And I saw a sign which I thought was great, and it was saying like you can't say that all lives matter until you show that Black lives matter.
Word. And we already know all lives matter, but we're not turning TV and seeing all lives getting shot. You know, we're not seeing all lives getting shot grabbing a gun that's registered. We're not hearing about all lives getting shot sleep like Breonna Taylor.
Word.
We're not seeing like Sean Bell stuff. It's all lives matter, right? But we're not seeing all lives on TV getting shot.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't understand that, you're part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like Killer Mike said, he said it best a couple of days ago. He was like, "Yo, what you do with ignorant people is treat them like a child, right? When your child does something wrong, you might give them a pop, you spank them, say, hey, stop, don't touch that. But then you chastise them, and then you explain, right? You explain why you did what you did. So ignorant people like that, you have to spank them and then explain to them why. But the problem is now, most Black people are just tired of explaining stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I don't want to explain it anymore. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you get tired after a while.
Yeah, like you don't get it, cool. But eventually, I'll talk to you later. But right now, it's just too crazy right now. If you can't do the research, like I said before, with Breeze anybody, and realize why people are saying this, it's cool. You're never gonna get it then.
Or, so we got LeBron who spoke out immediately after Drew Brees had his statement, which you know what, man, I as much as, you know, we get into this GOAT conversation or whatever, on that side of things, for him speaking up and him doing this thing, I mean, 100% salute to LeBron James. He does not hold back. He's not worried about how his fans are.
You know why though?
What's
I
that?
think you know why the reason. LeBron's a GOAT when it comes to like off the field. I mean, off
Absolutely.
the court stuff. But he got the bag. The setup is different, so his money's not being affected. So it's like when you have security like Goodell, when you got security like LeBron has, he can do that. When Jordan was coming up, the bag wasn't like that. Like Jordan had, you know what I'm saying, Jordan or whoever, Magic, whoever they were. But now the athletes have more power and they can flex it. They got all these social media followers, just that they can move things. So he can say that. I guarantee you, no matter how much I love LeBron, if you take that away and put LeBron back in 1992, he wouldn't be saying the stuff he's saying now. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the time allows you to do it.
I understand. But he still doesn't have to do it, is my point. So he does have the security, which makes it a lot easier, obviously. But
he and Jim Brown.
True. Yeah. I like
Bill
the
Russell.
fact that he jumped right on Drew Brees. He didn't worry about like, you know, it wasn't like him just speaking out on equality. Like, he went after a star at another league, essentially, and basically like, yo, you bugging, that's foul.
Because he got the bag.
True.
Like, no, it's like anything. If I know that I have security, you say a bunch of stuff to people. Like, if you sit there and go to your job, wherever you're at, like, yo, you know that it's your company, you're going to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
For the most part, within reason. If you just an employee of a company and they go, yo, you got to come in on Saturday. Like, I don't want to come in on Saturday. But you'll be there on Saturday. Like, you might say, I don't want to come in. That's what I'm saying. So LeBron, he's at that level. So I'm glad he is speaking out. But I think it also plays a part where he's got great character, of course. But because the money is guaranteed, he's good. So he can take these chances, go on a limb and say, oh, Drew Brees is this, Drew Brees is that. Like, you never seen, like, think about, like, Charles Barkley back in the day. I'm not your role model. Like, he's doing people do windows, right? Doing all that crazy stuff. But Charles Barkley also, he wasn't speaking out on certain things. Now he speaks out on it more. But, you know, it's just different, yeah. But LeBron, salute to LeBron, though. LeBron is definitely the GOAT with that.
Yep. And one of the last things I wanted to cover is, and I've been hearing it just from, like, local friends and local coaches is, you know, a real way that we could flex our muscles in the youth. And you said, like, the youth have to push this movement is, you know, what if we, you know, some of the top high school players, whether it be football or basketball, start going to HBCUs? Do you know what it would look like if, and all these guys know each other, they play AAU together. If they play football, they're in football camps. So, and then, like, social media keeps them connected. It's not like back in '92 where, you know, maybe you had to call somebody or whatever the case is. So all these guys know each other. All these guys play together. What if 3 of the top 10 guys just went to Howard?
That'd be crazy.
And then you can shift the narrative, and it's like these, you know, the blue bloods or whatever, they're not gonna like it, but, like, right now they're sitting comfortable knowing that, you know, 5 or 6 of the blue bloods, you know, they're going to get, you know,
top
70% of the top 30 guys.
Yeah, because think about before segregation happened, all the athletes, they go, well, all the black players, they go to the HBCUs or black colleges, and you still was found. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have a lot of players that played back in the day before, like, UNC allowed black players, things like that was still going to the leagues and still getting drafted in football, well, or sports or basketball, or whatever sport it may be. So, yeah, they if you're good, they're going to find you. You know
And
what I'm
not only
saying?
that, the NBA scouts are already looking at the seniors. They know they have them projected, in the draft already anyway. So
Definitely.
I think if we, it'll be cool to see a couple of these kids flex their muscle. I know it's not easy, because it wasn't easy what Cap did or Jim Brown or
No,
Muhammad Ali.
but some kid just did it. I'm not sure how high he was, but he was supposed to go to St. John's,
Okay,
and he ended up switching to like HBCU. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of
was
my
it
head. But
Alabama State?
he did something like that. He just decommitted to St. John's and did
Okay,
that. And you heard a young boy like the young boy Mikey talking about
Mikey,
that
yeah,
too. Well, like we talked about offline, but he's such a top pick that he's not gonna have to worry about that. He's gonna go to the G League or right to the league by the time he's in 2 or 3 years, whenever he gets out.
or by the
So
time
like, you know,
he, some of these kids, the one and done rule might be done anyway.
that's what I'm
So,
saying.
yeah.
But the ones like you said, the ones that are like a top 100, you know what I'm saying, that might say going to Kansas or UNC, go to Howard or Hampton. That'd be crazy. So then they have to change about the tournament, right? So the MEAC can only get one team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You do that. I think that'll be dope. I don't know that that'll happen. But I think yeah. I think that it'll shift the narrative, especially if it's a couple of the guys that are high ranked and one and done guys. If they could say, you know what, I'm going to the league anyway. Let me just rep for Howard for a year or rep for Hampton.
Imagine if Zion went to like Dell State or something.
That'd have been crazy.
Could have averaged 60 and then bounce.
In conference for sure.
For real,
so,
bounce. That's crazy, man.
I think that'll be dope. It wouldn't be an easy thing to do because people are so accustomed to what they're accustomed to, and some of these kids are receiving bags that they never even seen before. So it's hard to turn down some of the incentives that the coaches are allegedly granting them.
And these HBCUs are great anyway, like great institutions. You think about a lot of like a lot of doctors, lawyers, a lot of them be from HBCUs, a lot of the African American ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, not just African American too, because people think we see HBCU, they think it's only black people there. No, there's a lot of different people. Like you go to Howard right now, there's gonna be a lot of different nationalities at Howard.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So,
that'd be a good look.
That'd be cool. So, we could wrap up with music. What you got this week?
This week, have that King Crooked and Joel Ortiz Hard. Album's tough. It came out a couple weeks ago, but album's real tough. I've been a Crooked, not Crooked, well, King Crooked, I'm sorry. I want to say the right name. I've been a King Crooked fan for a minute, and Joel, I've been a Joel fan for a while. The funny thing is, though, I didn't like Slaughterhouse stuff. And which is crazy because I love Royce. And Joe's always been cool with me, but I haven't been like a huge Joe fan. But I guess I always like King Crooked. I don't understand why I didn't like them together.
Well, sometimes it's just too much too.
Maybe I think it's what it was. I think it was too much lyricism, which sounds crazy. And you hear 10, 11 songs of all that lyricism, you're like, damn, I can't hear that. Like I need to.
Like I need a song with a dope hook. I need.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think it was. Yeah. How about you?
This week I really just been rocking with a mixtape. Well, not a mixtape, like a playlist rather on Tidal that I've been vibing with. Just a lot of that new age R&B. Her, Janae Aiko, Jesse Reyes, Sir, DVSN. So I got like 40 songs on a playlist with just like a medley from all of them. So I've been rocking that on random, and I haven't
R&B
really
flow.
Yeah, R&B flow. Get me in a good headspace with all this craziness going on. So
yeah, no, you're right.
But that's it. So we appreciate you listening.
Definitely.
Hopefully you got something out of it, and we could keep the fight going just to get equality.
Let's get equality. It's equality. We just want it to matter.
We just want to matter. Something light.
Something light. We don't want much, man. Just care about us, man. We people.
Yeah, and just rest in peace to everybody that lost their lives in any type of fashion, and hopefully this
will slow up. But as you stated, it's going to be some more. It's going to happen. They have to do the whole reform stuff. It's going to be more, but I think we're heading in the right direction right now, like you stated earlier, as
Yeah.
far as the different
I like
nationalities getting in.
Yeah, I like the solidarity. I hope that people don't forget, and just keep it pushing, and I hope that that case works out the way it should, and I'll just leave it at that.
for everybody's sake.
So
right.
salute. Catch us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and follow us on IG at The Great Minds Podcast. So thank you. Appreciate your time. Peace.